The small schools model in Frisco has continued since its adoption nearly 20 years ago. But when voters rejected the TRE in August of 2016, the district began to organize a long-range planning committee that would take a look at whether or not to continue with smaller schools. And with a 10th high school set to open next year, and a community survey of more than 4,000 people showing 79% wanted to keep the small schools model, that's what appears will happen. For Frisco ISD Athletic Director David Kirkendall, there are athletic advantages to staying in 5A.
Right now we are able to, with the small model, we're able to get a lot more kids to participate. We talk about in Allen there's one quarterback, and over in Frisco there's 9 quarterbacks. So there's one valedictorian over at Allen, and there's 9 valedictorians over in Frisco.
Had the district chosen to adopt a partial 6A school model, Plano ISD could have provided an example.
Our numbers probably are not that much different than Frisco ISD when it comes to having one, like football, one team 9th grade through 12th grade and one building. When you compare the numbers of all the kids in that school, and then you compare them to the Plano ISD, the 3 schools, 2 high schools and a senior high, it's probably pretty close.
For some community members, there's a belief that the number of high schools dilutes the athletic talent and prevents the district from reaching its full athletic potential.
Well, I disagree that it's watered down, because Frisco ISD is extremely competitive in everything. Now, they have a lot of schools and all, but they have tremendous talent in Frisco.
From the 2010 to 2011 school year to 2016 to 17, Frisco ISD claimed 8 UIL team championships, while Plano ISD only took home 5.
Left, and the jumper is good.
There's so much going on up there. There's going to be so many people that are going to choose to live there, and that's why the school district is so important, because people are going to go and they're going to want to put their kids in a school district where they can get all of the things that everybody talks about.
A similar district to FISD is Prosper, a town that has rapid growth just like Frisco has in the last 10 years. Much like Frisco 20 years ago, Prosper ISD currently has just 1 high school, with plans to open another one in 2 years, with an expected 6 to 8 high schools when the city reaches its growth potential.
Well, our goal is to have 6 5A schools, but a lot of it does depend on the growth. If the growth continues at the rate that it is going right now, we won't be able to keep up with it, and we will have more 6A schools than we want.
With the small schools model, however, comes the concern for funding.
One thing we have to make sure of, right, as taxpayer dollars, is that we're being good stewards of our money. Even when it comes to a second high school, our facilities will mirror this one. Our administration, especially our superintendent, is very smart with money. He's been very smart about how he's planned. Between him, our school board, and our financial officer, we feel very confident about how they've planned for us for the future.
But while Prosper High School will move to 6A for 2 years, much like Frisco, it wants to have its own small schools model, allowing for more opportunities for students.
And we think that smaller school model is very advantageous for that reason, right? Your coaches have more of a chance to be able to, interact with their kids, have personal relationships with their kids. I think the smaller model is just a lot more advantageous for your kids, coaches, administrators, community, everybody.
With Frisco ISD sticking with the small schools model, Kirkendall believes the parity in the district doesn't take away from the high quality of play.
I just think it's cyclical. I think that those years that Liberty did so well and they've struggled lately, I think they're going to come back. It's just like who has one of the best basketball teams in the district? It's Liberty. Who has one of the best girls basketball teams in the district? It's Liberty. So it just depends on a given year. You don't spend a lot of time asking the other athletic directors around the state of Texas, but I hope that when people play Frisco ISD, whether it be in any sport or any extracurricular activity, that they better bring their A game, because they're going to be in for a battle. And I think that we've proven that we can hold our own and compete well. And that was always a fear early on, that we were going to be small, and when we divided teams up, that we weren't going to be competitive. And it's just turned around and been the opposite.
For Wingspan TV, I'm Carter Brock.